John Charles, President of Cascade Policy Institute. I hope before you vote on this, you will focus your attention on the second whereas clause. Federal assistance will impose certain obligations upon the applicant. I suggest you review and understand those obligations before you approve the resolution. Previous Trimet boards approved a similar resolution, I assume, for the green line. The Trimet is now operating that line at a level of service 33% below what was planned for at the time the full funding grant agreement was submitted and approved. So how specifically will Trimet operate this line successfully when there is not even a plan to fully restore transit service to Trimet over the next decade? I sent you all a copy of my letter to FTA about my concerns with the Green Line, that Trimet appears to be in default of this contract. No one from Trimet has responded or even acknowledged receipt of the letter, so I'll take that as an admission that you don't have a response. You have a fiduciary obligation to conduct proper due diligence on this matter. So I should ask you, have you accounted for the following factors? $25 million owed to Trimet through an IGA within 60 days of getting the FGA agreement from Clackamas County may not be available, or at least available when you need it. They have no idea how they're going to get that money. When I've talked to the commission, they said we'll get it through urban renewal. Well, there's already an initiative petition being circulated to require a vote on urban renewal in Clackamas County before that happens. If you know what happened with the Selwood Bridge, the little $5 fee in Clackamas County was crushed when put out for public vote. What happens if the $25 million is not available? Sure, you could sue them. They've signed an IGA. They might not have that money for years, and you've got highly paid people out there on the job. You're $25 million down. What about the possibility of OPEB mandates? At 1 o'clock today, Olivia Clark and I are on a panel in Salem as invited witnesses talking to the legislature a bill that would require all local governments and special districts in Oregon to make annual required contributions into their OPEB trust. Currently, the ARC is actually just annual recommended. If they were to do that, which they wouldn't do in this session, but they could do next February, that would be a hit to your general fund of about $60 million, since you're not putting money into the OPEB trust fund. Have you accounted for the possibility of that happening? And if so, what is your plan B? What happens if you lose the arbitration with the ATU? As far as I can tell, your plan C for that is cut service. Well, then how are you going to maintain the service you're promising on this new expensive line in Milwaukee? What happens if someone on the relevant congressional committee, say in the House, where things have changed now, where fiscal responsibility is a little more of a priority, what happens if they suggest FTA, since they fund FTA, that maybe the FFGA application just be put on hold until you prove up on what you promised for the Green Line? That can happen. Mark Hatfield is the one who forced FTA to bring home the bacon for the West Side Line. Members of Congress can do that. Again, you're all starting all this construction on speculation that a year from now, $750 million will come in when you need it. Well, what happens if Congress says that's not going to happen, or at least doesn't happen when you need it? I'll just remind you that you promised the legislature in 2003 that you would increase the service if they gave you a payroll tax rate increase. You reduced the service. You broke the promise. You promised the FTA you would operate the Green Line properly if they gave you the grant money. You broke the promise. You promised the public last year at this time that you would begin funding your OPEB obligations in FY12 at the rate of $1 million per year. When you adopt your budget later this month, you will break that promise. Adoption of this measure today will make all these problems worse. And I believe this will be a dark day in our financial history for Trimet. And I just want to go on record that when you consider this, you were fully aware of all of these risks. Thank you.